6.
On World News Tonight this Thursday, the International Space Station has a narrow brush with disaster, and they could not move it. 10,000 dead in Kosovo. The British think so, and they think they found a torture chamber. God and guns and school violence. The House of Representatives thinks the 10 Commandments might make a difference. And we'll take a closer look at women's equality in sports, thanks to government, and this woman's winning ways. Some talent.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with danger in space. ABC News has learned that the International Space Station, which the U.S. and the Russians and several other nations are building, was recently in danger of being hit and possibly destroyed by space junk. The U.S. has put $11 billion into the station so far, and what made this somewhat scary was the inability to get out of the way. Here's ABC's Ned Potter.
The space station was sailing along in orbit when late last week the Air Force told NASA a piece of space junk, a used Russian rocket, would pass too close for comfort. But ABC News has learned that when controllers tried to move the station, they could not. In fact, the station's computers shut down the steering system for 90 minutes until engineers could regain control.
This was the first time they tried a real collision avoidance burn, and it didn't work.
How did all this happen? The station is currently commanded by Russia's mission control, so Houston had to send Moscow data on how much to change the station's orbit. When the commands were sent up to the station, its computers shut everything down.
They thought they were ready for it. They thought they'd practiced it. They thought they could do it. And they misunderstood how difficult it was going to be.
NASA says the used rocket missed the station by about 5 miles, and in the future with astronauts on board, avoidance maneuvers should be much simpler. But the Air Force tracked 600 pieces of space junk that the station needs to avoid. One small collision could be fatal.
This is just the first of many opportunities to be humbled, and I hope that everyone will keep in mind that we're learning as fast as anybody.
This is a big issue for NASA. The finished station will be massive, and the amount of junk to avoid goes up with every launch. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
In Kosovo tonight, the headline is Massacre. NATO forces in the province have now uncovered so many sites where they suspect that massacres occurred and heard so many eyewitness accounts that the British Foreign Office says at least 10,000 Kosovo Albanians have been killed by the Serbs in as many as 100 separate massacres. And then there was a discovery made by British soldiers today at a Serb police station in Pristina, the capital. ABC's Bob Woodruff is there.
British soldiers came to this building looking for police documents. Then they found something else. Several rooms in the basement filled with tools that they believe were used for torture. An assortment of sticks and bats, a bed with a restraining belt, knives, chains, and brass knuckles.
Why would they leave so much evidence behind?
They've destroyed all the paperwork, or nearly all the paperwork. So I imagine they concentrate on the files.
Today, more gruesome discoveries all over Kosovo. In Saraluka, the remains of 26 people allegedly forced into a room and shot by the Serbs. The aftermath of a massacre in Gost. Locals say 5 men were lined up against a wall and shot. In Maya, refugees returned to find the remains of their relatives. They say 100 people were executed here.
We've been, frankly, quite astonished to learn about the number of additional sites which are coming to our attention.
NATO troops are guarding some of the sites, but U.S. troops said today they cannot possibly guard them all. They say the mission is keeping the peace here, and the peace here is still very fragile. Today in Pristina, a sniper shot an Albanian right in front of British troops.
Right, shooters come from that direction down that way, mate, okay? So what were you doing? 2 shots in the back of the car.
This may have been the result of ethnic hatred. It may have been the result of something else. The shooter was not caught. Bob Woodruff, ABC News, Pristina.
NATO's efforts to have the Serbs stay in Kosovo are not proving very successful. The Serbs don't feel safe anymore. Up to 50,000 have now fled since NATO moved in, and the Kosovo Albanians began moving back. Today, thousands more ethnic Albanians headed home, despite the warnings that landmines and booby traps may await them. On Capitol Hill today, the House of Representatives accomplished the historic. The House has been debating ways, as you know, to reduce youth violence, gun control, movie ratings. Today, the House settled on Scripture. It voted to give the states the right to post the 10 Commandments in schools. Here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
For 2 days, Republicans have argued that teenage violence is not caused by guns, but by moral decay. When the House voted to allow the 10 Commandments in schools, it was a victory for conservatives.
I challenge anybody on the other side to tell me what in these 10 Commandments they find so objectionable. Do they find so objectionable that it says, thou shalt not kill?
Most legal experts say the measure is unconstitutional and would be struck down by the courts. But GOP leaders were determined to make a statement. On top of the 10 Commandments debate, they spent hours lashing out at Hollywood.
We should all do whatever we can, even in a small way, to slow this flood of this toxic, mind-warping, sick, evil, violent, and obscene material that is reaching our children today.
So what they did in this case was to pass a resolution condemning the entertainment industry.
I just want to make sure you're with us.
But the real fight over legislation was on gun control. Behind the scenes, Democrats pleaded with their colleagues to stick with the proposed 3-day waiting period on background checks at gun shows.
I hope and pray that Congress will do the right thing.
In Paris, President Clinton was up before dawn calling wavering Democrats from rural districts. California's Mike Thompson told Mr. Clinton he was with him.
Well, I'm fine with the background check.
Pressure from the other side is equally intense. The National Rifle Association delivered a letter to members of Congress urging them to vote for a weaker background check. And now sources in both parties say it is possible, Peter, that no gun bill will pass.
Thanks very much, Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill. When we come back, some of the other news. Eluding the FBI for a quarter of a century. How did Kathleen Celaya do it? And the electronic revolution that was supposed to do away with this. So much for conventional wisdom.
Gel caps, the only gel cap that can help save your life. New Bear Gel Caps, powerful pain relief, and so much more.
It's barbecue season, the busiest time of the year for your deck, which is why you should protect it with Thompson's Wood Protector. Nothing we make works harder, longer. For rain, sun, mildew, or low-flying meat, Thompson's Wood Protector, it never takes a day off.
You're on Love Matters. When love matters, I'm here to help. Dave?
Yeah, I'm having this problem with my girlfriend. It's kind of involved.
Diarrhea. Get it, and you want it gone.
You're a really good listener, you know.
He needs Imodium AD.
Imodium Advanced. It's even better.
Only Imodium Advanced relieves diarrhea plus cramps and bloating by combining 2 medicines, and it's even faster than Imodium AD.
So was I right to invite my mom along on my honeymoon?
Oh, Dave, absolutely.
Imodium Advanced. Faster relief you can count on.
In St. Paul, Minnesota today, the woman who the FBI says was a member of the radical Symbionese Liberation Army captured yesterday has been denied bail. Kathleen Celaya will be sent back to California, where she was charged with conspiracy to commit murder and plant explosives in 1976. ABC's Dean Reynolds tonight with a story of 25 years on the run.
How did she do it? How did a young radical turn herself into an acclaimed local actress and keep the FBI in the dark for a quarter of a century?
I mean, talk about hiding in plain sight. She's been photographed. She's been on stage.
It takes 2 things in America today to drop out of sight. It takes intelligence and a little bit of money.
Kathleen Ann Celaya had both.
She's very smart, very articulate, incredibly kind.
And she was married to a doctor. They lived with their 3 daughters in this comfortable neighborhood where this woman who stands accused of trying to bomb police cruisers was active in organizing campaigns against violence. Her husband, Dr. Gerald Peterson, claimed to ABC News that he knew nothing of her past and is shocked she is under arrest. On the 25th anniversary of a bloody shootout in California, Celaya reportedly sensed correctly that the law was back on the case and closing in. Her family members in California were trying to make a deal for her surrender. In exchange for turning herself in, Kathleen Celaya wanted to avoid all prison time. But according to those familiar with the case, law enforcement made no commitment one way or the other. As it turned out, they didn't have to. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, St. Paul.
In other news today, a government health panel has recommended that polio shots replace the oral vaccine starting next year. The oral vaccine has been used routinely for childhood vaccination since 1965, and it's highly effective. But the panel, which advises the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said that in very rare cases it can actually cause polio. The Pentagon made it clear today it will not put any more unknown servicemen from the Vietnam War in the tomb of the unknowns at Arlington Cemetery. The Pentagon says that advances in DNA science mean it's possible that all remains can be identified. When we come back, some conventional wisdom.
Overactive bladder.
Those strong, sudden urges.
Going to the bathroom so often.
Wedding accidents.
Discover prescription Detrol. Detrol is proven effective to treat overactive bladder. Detrol reduced bathroom visits by 2.2 times in 24 hours versus 1.1 times with a sugar pill.
Stay a little longer?
Love to.
1.2 fewer wedding accidents occurred with Detrol versus 0.8 fewer with a sugar pill. Similar decreases over 24 hours. Do not take Detrol if you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effect is dry mouth at 39.5% for Detrol versus 15.9% for sugar pill. Common but less frequent ones may include dry eyes, headache, constipation, and indigestion.
Head back?
Not right now.
For more product information, call us or ask your doctor about prescription Detrol. Proven effective to treat overactive bladder.
Brad, I asked my doctor about Detrol.
The 99 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Postponed adulthood, starting in under $17,500. Now available with 0.9% APR financing for 48 months.
In the beginning, all was darkness and sorrow. And then, one day, come, it is time. The Maytag Dual Cool Refrigerator, where finally the temperatures are just right. Yay! Our future looks bright indeed, for this refrigerator actually keeps food fresh.
On the money tonight, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Alan Greenspan, made it clear today that a small increase in interest rates is not a bad way to keep the economy going in the long run. Mr. Greenspan told Congress he'd rather take modest, preemptive action to correct problems in the economy than drastic ones after it's already in trouble. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 56 points to close at 10,841. On the Nasdaq, stocks were up 26 points. In China, the government has actually been urging people to buy stocks. The unprecedented show of confidence in the stock market has helped send Chinese stocks up 30% since May. We have a new segment for the broadcast tonight. So much for conventional wisdom. More than 30 years ago, a cover story in Forbes magazine predicted that the bank check would disappear. Americans were writing about 20 billion checks a year at the time. By the late 1990s, they were writing 64 billion checks a year. More recently, there were predictions that with all the available technology, we would do without paper in our offices. Wrong again. Here's ABC's Betsy Stark.
In the age of email and e-commerce and computers on every desktop, there was supposed to be a lot less of this. Instead, the electronic revolution has produced an avalanche of office paper, more than 26 million tons of it, almost twice the amount used 20 years ago, or roughly 60 trillion sheets of the stuff.
Do you see any evidence here of a move toward a paperless office?
Not at all. Paper sales are very strong.
It's not just that there are more people working in office jobs today. Powerful computers are giving those workers access to mountains of information. And faster, cheaper printers now allow them to print that information out again and again and again.
Many people, myself included, somehow feel better if they see it on paper. They feel that it's really there, that they have the information in a way more permanently.
Even those who work on the cutting edge of computer technology, such as internet consultant Greg Blatnick, still trust hard copies more than hard drives.
Even when I have information on the computer, I will carry a backup copy that's on paper in the instance that that computer somehow becomes unusable.
And there's little financial incentive to use less paper. For now, computer memory is not only unreliable, it's also expensive, while paper keeps getting cheaper. Production costs have fallen so much that a ream of paper today costs about half of what it did 20 years ago. In the face of all this evidence, it's clear the conventional wisdom has been wrong. But it hangs on. Many still say the paperless office is coming. Betsy Stark, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, women in sports, the law and the woman. We'll take a closer look.
When arthritis pain hurts, you want relief fast. But some pills can cause stomach irritation. Rubs can have odor. Aspercream's different. Rubbing an Aspercream relieves minor arthritis pain. No stomach irritation, no odor. Aspercream. Pain relief without aspirin.
The Flying Mile. Race fans gather at Daytona's Flying Mile.
Winning Daytona shows that the 300 is a spirited, full-blooded automobile with impeccable road manners.
Chrysler 300M, born like its ancestors with the most horsepower in its class.
No other car delivers this much motoring excitement.
She's a regular firecracker. And now, Motor Trend 1999 Car of the Year.
Tylenol House Call. Information for healthy living.
It's like a drum.
Like a hammer. I snap at everybody.
My kids know to stay away.
It's one of our most common medical conditions, a headache. What triggers a headache? Too much caffeine, too little sleep, stress or anger, even changes in the weather. The next time you get a headache, here's some simple things that might help. Try applying heat or cold to the area, massaging the neck to relax the muscles, or simply taking a walk or nap. If you're one of the millions of people who rely on over-the-counter medicines, you should know that the pain reliever doctors recommend most is Tylenol. No other pain reliever works better on everyday headaches than extra-strength Tylenol.
When my headache goes away, I'm me again.
By the way, keeping a headache diary can help you determine if food, weather, or mood contributes to your headache pattern. For more information about headaches, visit Tylenol.com.
Tylenol House Call is brought to you by Extra Strength Tylenol.
Nancy will have to see from near to far almost 1,000 times today. Her eyes will focus on 40 labels, 60 charts, and 100 smiles. And in all that time, she'll never once think about the science that allows her to focus instantly at all distances. Nancy just knows that her Verilux lenses help her see better. And for her, that's a very comforting thought. Verilux, the comfort of better vision. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-VERILUX.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at women and sports. In a moment, we'll meet a young woman who's having a stunning effect on her sport. But first, we want to revisit a very important piece of legislation which President Nixon signed into law 27 years ago next week. Everyone involved with sports for women is familiar with Title IX. No one on the basis of sex can be excluded from participation in or be denied the benefits of any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Which means, in a phrase, that at every school which gets federal dollars, sports programs for women must get proportionately equal money and equal privilege. ABC's Erin Hayes tonight on how it's going.
If you want to know what Title IX has accomplished, just watch the U.S. women's soccer team, winner of the '96 Olympics.
If you look at 1996 Olympics, you see the Title IX babies perform and win.
Go get it! Go get it! Babies who benefited from a girls' sports system in America that has gained a lot of ground, kicked into gear by the law.
Here come your fight for the Lady Tigers of LSU!
Schools like Louisiana State University have added many more teams for women, facilities just as nice as the men's, and scholarships.
Our team's good. 6 of our women's teams finished in the top 11 in the nation.
It was not without a struggle. Women here sued a few years ago to force LSU to comply with Title IX.
Indeed, more and more women are going to court to make their schools measure up, and that is having unintended consequences for men. Many schools worried about making things equal to comply with the law are actually cutting back on men's athletics.
UCLA ended men's swimming. Boston University dropped football. Brigham Young just threw out gymnastics. While the average number of female college athletes is growing, the number of male athletes is shrinking.
There's wholesale devastation going on. We've lost 85 track and field programs in the last 3 years. We've lost virtually all of our men's gymnastics programs.
Not what the law intended, and not what many women want.
Cutting a male sport to add a women's sport does not offer any more opportunities for women. It just takes away opportunity for men.
Wrestlers at Cal State Bakersfield have taken a cue from the women, suing to keep their program from being cut. Part of an ongoing tug-of-war over Title IX, trying to make sure everyone comes out a winner. That's your ball game. Aaron Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
You heard mention in Aaron's report about Title IX babies. Well, the next couple of weeks promise to be a showcase for perhaps the most famous of Title IX babies. The Women's World Cup of Soccer begins this Saturday at several sites in the United States. They say it's the largest women's-only sporting event in the world. And Mia Hamm could very well be its biggest star. Here's ABC's Robin Roberts.
Leaves it off. Here's Mia Hamm in the box. The shot. Goal. She's got the record.
Women's sports has never seen anyone quite like Mia Hamm. And no one has ever been able to put the ball in the net like she does. She has scored more goals in international competition than any player, man or woman, and is the most marketable and recognizable female athlete in the United States.
Had enough?
Let's go.
You have to have a lot of confidence to pull a fast one on Michael Jordan.
No, we didn't plan that. It was, just happened, Some crazy moment, I just felt like throwing Michael Jordan.
Just came to you, let's throw Michael Jordan.
Had the chance, I'm sure there are a lot of guys in the NBA that would have loved to have done that.
Like Mike, Mia has a building named after her at Nike headquarters. She has her own soccer shoe and Barbie doll. But her friends insist she always puts the team first.
She doesn't like that spotlight, and she doesn't, want to be the one that, Mia, the kids are going, Mia. So we're always giving her some abuse about that.
Mia's teammates refer to her as the reluctant diva, yet she has the rare opportunity, some might even say the responsibility, to not only advance soccer, but to change the face of women's sports. Mia has been on the field since she was 6 years old. At 15, she became the youngest player ever to join the national team. Now at 27 and at the top of her game, Mia wants more.
We're still trying to sell this game, and we're doing a good job at it, but there are still things that we want to accomplish.
Primarily launching a women's pro soccer league in this country. Mia Hamm would be the cornerstone for her peers
In years to come.
and for the next generation of Mia Hamms. Robin Roberts, ABC News, Bernards Township, New Jersey.
When we come back, the one thing that has always separated man from the apes.
I'm serving a party of 20 whether this pain goes away or not. So I took Advil liquid gels. See, they're stronger and faster than extra strength Tylenol on tough pain. It's the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Advil liquid gels. Stronger and faster.
Sign here? Sorry, I only have a minute. In so many ways, in so many places, it keeps 1 million disasters a day from happening. It's like having a life insurance policy you never knew you had. Gotta go. It's plastics. There's my good girl. Plastics make it possible.
Natural, real, a whole new way to lose the gray.
Grecian
not taking that laxative.
It's got stimulants that may cause cramping.
Says who?
Says on the label. Don't you know nothing's better than Phillips Milk of Magnesia?
All these overnight laxatives have stimulants that may cause cramping. Phillips doesn't. It's the only one that's stimulant-free.
What a rare bird.
She sure is. Phillips, effective relief without harsh stimulants. And also try convenient liquid gels.
Now you can have your Storm Tracker 2000 forecast emailed to you every day. Just log on to our webpage at www.wkrn.com. Give us your email address and we'll send you the forecast daily at no charge. It's Another Way News 2 is first, fast, accurate.
Just a brief review of our top story. ABC News has learned that the multi-billion-dollar International Space Station was in danger of being hit and may be destroyed by space junk. Junk ended up missing the station, but when Russian mission control tried to move the station, it would not budge. Finally, this evening, we're not alone. Not about space. No, another example, it turns out, in which man, Homo sapiens might be more appropriate in this case, does not appear to be as distinct, as exclusive, as special, as unique as we thought. Now, we always knew that chimpanzees were somewhat like us. But now we learn from an international team of primatologists, no less, they study apes, that chimps, like us, have different cultures. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
In the animal kingdom, they are our closest cousins, but close enough to have culture? This latest study, after years of scientific observations, shows how common chimpanzees, learning from each other, develop markedly different skills in different groups.
This study shows quite clearly that there is cultural diversity and therefore culture within the chimpanzee population.
In making this case for ape culture, the scientists studied 39 behaviors that varied among 7 chimp communities. For example, in one part of Africa, all the chimps eat ants one at a time, whereas in another region,
they take a stick, actually usually a bit longer than this, about 2 feet long, and they dip that on the ants that are in a column, and the ants swarm up it. And what the chimpanzees do then very deftly is to run their hand right along like that. They get all the ants on their hand, and they gobble them up.
On grooming, in one community, the chimps pick off insects and squash them with their hands. In another, they all use a leaf, while in a third, the chimps put the insects on a rock and study them carefully before killing them.
Chimpanzee social groups are learning from each other, and they come up with an independent way of doing a given task.
And in the animal kingdom, that is culture. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
Live and learn. That's our report on World News Tonight. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, the cold fusion yo-yo. Physics and technology bring high performance and power to what was once a simple toy. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCnews.com, now a part of the Go Network.